So it's push day, and I like to start my push day out with a incline Smith machine bench press. Now I know Smith machine kind of gets a lot of hate from the bro science guys, but if you're trying to focus on chest hypertrophy, this is one of the best movements you could do. Get a nice, slow, controlled eccentric, and Smith machine really just locks things into that chest, so you get a great mind-muscle connection. I use a lot of control. I try to keep it around 3 to 4 working sets and push things pretty much either 1 rep shy of failure or 2 absolute failure, which is the real benefit of using the Smith machine, is that you can push to failure without having to worry about having a spotter or just dropping the bar on yourself and dying. And as you can see here, I push things to absolute failure and have to drive that thing up with my hips, but like I said, that's where the Smith machine comes in handy. Now we're getting into our pec flies. This is the Assault pec fly machine. It's a plate loaded machine. I feel like I get a crazy stretch on this thing and just get a solid mind muscle connection. I keep it pretty light. I usually push it to 12 to 14 reps and take this thing to pretty much absolute failure as well. Get some partials in at the end, and same thing, I do 3 to 4 working sets with this movement and just really push things as close to failure as I can. Those accessory movements, you can really push things close to failure. If you're not driving things close to failure, then trust me, after your newbie gains phase, you're not going to be growing. Now we're getting into some pec flies, but this is with a little bit more of a lower chest emphasis. I'm really trying to bring up my lower chest right now. I developed my upper chest a lot by doing a lot of incline bench press, and I also did a lot of barbell bench press during my powerlifting prep. So my upper chest is slightly more peaked than my lower chest. I feel like my lower chest just kind of lacks some development, so we're just trying to bring that up. But I still do my main working movement with the incline bench press, because overall I just need to grow my chest. But I do love this movement. You get a crazy stretch and really can drive things all the way to failure, get a few partials in, and really grow. And we're moving right into set 2. I believe I did 4 working sets of this one. In a minute here, I do throw in some tricep supersets. Keeping things simple and just really pushing things to failure on every single movement. Usually I track my reps and sets on the RP Hypertrophy app, but with the powerlifting competition coming up next week, I'm really focused on progressive overload. I am achieving progressive overload just because I'm pushing things till failure and I am growing, so I am getting more reps in every week, but I'm not as focused on the data right now. Once we finish up this powerlifting competition, that's when we'll really start dialing things in and keeping track of every single rep, set, weight, and we'll be locked in. As you can see, we do a little bit of overhead single arm tricep extensions. Love the stretch on this movement. Again, one of those movements you can just push it till absolute failure. I keep it pretty light again. Those joints a little bit rusty sometimes, and so I like to just keep it pretty light and just push this thing till absolute failure. And like I mentioned, these partial reps are going to be a key driving factor when you start reaching a more advanced level. They can really drive a lot of progress, pushing yourself past failure. Switched it up to a double arm overhead bar tricep extension for this one. And then you'll see later on I switched to just a tricep push down. Honestly, I was just kind of getting sick of the amount of time I was taking to do the single arms, and so I just switched things up, but still getting a crazy stretch, still getting crazy pump in the triceps, and still pushing things to a failure. You'll catch me posing in between sets every now and then. It's really not like a vanity thing, although sometimes the pump does look pretty sick. But I do need to work on my posing, and that extra little bit of flexing stimulus that you get after immediately training can really help you on stage, because you're going to be holding those poses for quite some time and your muscles really fill up, and it can be quite hard. So it's good to challenge yourself by already having all of that lactic acid buildup in your muscles and still pushing through the flex and holding that pose for a minute. So nothing crazy, but I do like to do it every now and then. And I do enjoy checking out the pump, not gonna lie. And after this set, I think I did take things over to the lateral. There's the Salt lateral raise machine right behind me. The footage on that kind of sucked, but we did 4 sets to failure and then did a little drop set at the end, just to really push things. I've been pushing my arms and my delts pretty hard. We're doing about 4 or 5 days a week because they recover so well that I can push them to a pretty high stimulus amount multiple times throughout the week, and I'm seeing some pretty good progress and a lot of growth from it. So experiment with that, test yourself. If you have a muscle group that's recovered in 1 or 2 days, test it out, give it a shot, and throw in an extra couple sets on one of your other days. The worst thing that can happen is you over fatigue a little bit in a small muscle group and you gotta rest a couple days. The best thing that can happen is you see crazy growth and develop a lot quicker. That'll pretty much wrap things up for this push day. Like I said, we had a few other workouts, a few other sets, but I didn't record everything, but you get the gist. Keep training hard, keep pushing things close to failure, push yourself, and you will grow.